Howdy. I'm the Chinese Zodiac Killer. In 2022, I was arrested by the FBI Terrorist Task Force for mailing threatening communications for which it was claimed that I stated I was killing and eating people and going to kill more. As to whether or not this is the truth or a cover-up, will be left up to you to decide and will be discussed in a future video in further detail of my whistleblower series. Now, in my official court paperwork, it was written that my motive was to bring attention to myself and the book I wrote. While this was not my primary motive, it was indeed a secondary motive. That book referenced, I self-published on Amazon Books, published under my pen name A. Crowley, entitled Necronomicon, Mmxx, the Book of the Howling Beasts. It is the latest version of the Necronomicon mythos, the Necronomicon having the legacy of being the most powerful and dangerous unholy magical grimoire in history. Of course, the Necronomicon was first likely mentioned in the works of classic horror author H.P. Lovecraft, who supposedly claimed his material manifested from his own nightmares, of which some claimed that he had tapped into secret truths through his unique dreaming abilities. And many of these terrible abominations he dreamt of, such as Cthulhu and the Necronomicon, actually do exist. The original Necronomicon paperback was printed in the 70s and referred to as the Simon edition, due to its author being an anonymous figure only referred to as Simon. There's some debate as to whether or not this book is a gimmick and completely fake, or authentic and or some combination of both. Several additions to the Simon edition were later published as well. The Gates of the Necronomicon and Dead Names, the Dark History of the Necronomicon. What is true is that there is a dark history associated with the Necronomicon that has resulted in both terrible and fortunate results from using it for a considerable number of people, myself included. For example, I went to federal prison, lost my constitutional rights, was a victim of slander and character assassination and libel against me, lost my career, had my family broken up, my cousin died, my father died, my brother-in-law died 3 days later, and even Kaiser the Mountain Dog died, sadly. Author Donald Tyson also produced both his own Necronomicon and the novel Alhazred in the fashion of the Lovecraftian mythos, which appear to be clearly fictional in character but are nonetheless excellent reads. Now I have produced Necronomicon 2020, written as Necronomicon Mmxx in Roman numerals. It contains 25 years of my documented experiences with the occult, supernatural, and paranormal, as well as my initiation into you-know-what, that no word that gets censored on TikTok that ends in the letters N-A-T-I. It is also combined with a lot of dark occult philosophy, secret knowledge, and is saturated with horror and terror. Most specifically, around 2004 or 5, I established contact with a non-human intelligence who claimed to be Aiwass, who also dictated Aleister Crowley's most famous work to him, the Book of the Law, in 1904, while establishing proof that the transmission was indeed legitimate on my own part by cracking a coded message I received from the entity. The book describes this and all relevant discussions between myself and Aiwass over the next 13 years up until 2018. This includes prophecies that I had completely forgotten about until writing the book in May of 2021, many of which had turned out to come true. Most chilling of all are Iwas prophecies of World War III and the culmination of Armageddon, which seem to be progressing exactly as dictated by the archetype all those years ago. My experience of initiation into Illumi You Know What, as well as both visual and physical contact with non-human entities, and the realization of the truth of Iwas prophecies and occult secrets, pushed both my sanity and my behavior beyond societal accepted norms, and I became fanatical in my obsession to bring the secrets of Illumi You Know What to the world's attention. Engineering a mass media publicity stunt that would spread Necronomicon 2020 globally and deliberately get me even covered by People magazine, which I was. It also got me arrested by the FBI and opened a terrible Pandora's box upon the world. The engineering and execution of the strategy was nothing short of brilliant and ingenious, but I paid a terrible price for it, as did many who care for me, sadly, not to mention the entire world, which will be discussed in the future. But in short, I have altered reality and opened gateways to annihilation for mankind that can never be shut, as well as evoked extraterrestrials and reptilians into our collective reality and initiated World War III and Armageddon. Whether or not the Necronomicon truly exists in antiquity or was just dreamed up from Lovecraft's nightmares, and whether or not the Simon Necronomicon has any legitimacy and power at all, know this: Necronomicon 2020 is 100% real. Documented experiences and high sorcery of the most terrifying divine power. My 7 notebooks of documented experiences and conversations with Iwas were confiscated by the FBI and in the possession of the government for almost 2 years until returned to me via my lawyer's efforts. In my official investigative report to the sentencing judge, the government admitted in writing that the devil is real and I am using magical powers granted by him. Likewise, in March of this year of 2024, 2 federal agents showed up at my house and threatened me with blackmail should I continue to produce my intended series of the Procession of the Equinox, of which the Necronomicon 2020 is the first book in the series, and demanded I even erase documented evidence of my experiences. Do not underestimate the power of Necronomicon 2020. And do not underestimate me. This book is 100% real and contains terrifying high sorcery, prophecies fulfilled, and prophecies to come, secrets of Armageddon, reincarnation, illumination, Illumi You Know What, the gods, the devil, and what our reality truly is. You can find it on Amazon Books. Like, follow, and share. And check out my international touring metal band Penetration on YouTube and our songs such as See You in Guantanamo and Metalheads Forever. There's a lot more to come, including in-depth discussions on the content of Necronomicon 2020. Don't touch that dial. Simon says, join us.